Okay, the recording has started, and this is the February 25th, 2020 Rook community meeting. And as always, we will start with the latest milestone checkups. So we're in the currently running patch releases for 1.2. And so we will be doing a 1.2.5 patch release this week, hopefully. Let's go ahead and take a look at the project board and get some more details about that. Travis, do you want to talk through some of the important issues for 1.2.5 and what is remaining?
Yep. I'd like to get the CSI driver cleanup issue fixed. Elise is working on that. It should be done in the next day or two, and then I think we'll just plan on the release after that. Nothing's really been burning though for the .5 release, so I think we're getting close to 3 weeks since the last patch release, which is fine. It's just sort of a periodic time to get a release out. And then the other one in the to-do column, I don't know that it was urgent. It was just an investigation issue. I need to look at that again. PV provisioning fails. Yep, I haven't heard that being a widespread issue. So maybe that's just one to take out of this milestone too.
Cool, that sounds good.
That's all I've got for 1.2. Anybody else for 1.2? Nope.
Okay. And then we are also planning on a regular cadence for our 1.3 release. The intent there is to be doing that before KubeCon to get one more big release out before we go into Amsterdam. Travis, do you want to talk through some of the proposed dates and timeline for that?
Yeah. Yesterday I was thinking, oh, we're getting close to that date. We better start putting dates down next to what we want to do so we can ship on time. So feature freeze, I was thinking, kind of end of the week has worked well for the past couple of releases. So Friday, March 13th, kind of end of day, we would potentially create the beta, the first beta build, which creates the new release branch and allows master to move on. And then with a target ship date of approximately a week and change after that, to give us time to work on the upgrade guide and testing and final bug fixes and things. I don't feel like we have a lot of new features coming in hot this release, so I don't feel like it's a risky sort of schedule. But are there any thoughts or concerns about those proposed dates? That the 24th would be the Tuesday right before KubeCon. I think that's fine, but that sound good to others?
Yeah, and that has a few days too. Oh, sorry, Alex, go ahead.
If it's the day before KubeCon, are we sure that nobody is occupied, or well, to put it like that, the people that do the release are not occupied with traveling? I
don't travel till Saturday at least.
Yeah, so you said it's a Tuesday before KubeCon, right? The KubeCon itself does the 0-day events don't start till the following Monday, Alex. So 6 days later. There's some pretty good window there, I think.
Okay, yeah, got it. No.
Cool.
Okay.
Oh, the 24. Oh yeah, sorry. No, I see it. Yeah. Yeah, I have another conference there, so I was confused why it was also showing up as orange in my calendar. So
you'll be there before we get there, huh?
Well, yeah, probably.
Yep.
Cool. That sounds like a very reasonable timeline, Travis, I think, with both the feature freeze and the expected or proposed release date, with having a nice buffer before KubeCon, so it could slip even a couple days there and still have plenty of time.
Yep. Cool. We'll do it then.
All right. Okay. I didn't see any agenda items added about the major features emerged since the last community meeting. So if there weren't any that people wanted to bring up now, we could skip over that and head into the community topics section.
Yeah. Oh, one more thought on 1.3. I did make a pass on the 1.3 project board in GitHub. I guess we don't have a link to it there, do we?
I'll add one.
Yeah.
No problem.
for some reason, something must have been wrong with the rules because all the closed issues were showing up in the to-do column. I moved them all over. We've got a number of things in review. There's a couple of things in the to-do column. We can probably move out of 1.3. But I think we're in half decent shape, at least for the project board.
Sorry, I was updating the agenda document there. So yeah, this is the project board here. If there's anything specifically you wanted to talk through, or just note
not
that
so much.
it's been, yeah, we took a pass through it here.
Yeah, I think we need to, we're getting close enough to the release now. Let's make an effort to keep the board updated for what's in progress, and be clear when there are features or bugs we really want to get in as blocking issues to the release. Yep, I think we're in good shape for now, though.
All right, right on. Okay, so let's move on into the community topics section. And the first one we have here on the list is for the graduation process with the CNCF. So since the last Rook community meeting here 2 weeks ago, we did our first initial presentation and proposal to the CNCF storage SIG. That was really to get the conversation started and to identify any of the gaps or obstacles in the way for proceeding towards graduation. That went really well. And since then, we have locked in or confirmed our sponsor on the technical oversight committee, who is which is going to be Saad Ali from Google, and chair of the Kubernetes storage SIG, and all around awesome dude. So he is going to sponsor us, and he will call the vote with the technical oversight committee when the time comes for that. So the next step here, which is a big one, is tomorrow morning we will again at the same CNCF storage SIG, Wednesday 8 a.m. Pacific time, we will do our formal presentation of our graduation proposal and do a Q&A session for due diligence with the storage SIG there. So Travis and I will both be at that. We will be presenting and answering the questions coming from the SIG. So that will be fun times tomorrow morning. It's an open meeting. Everyone is welcome to join if they want to see the process or participate and answer any questions too if you want to. I have a link here in the agenda documents to their agenda document for the meeting tomorrow morning. So you can get the links and all the information from there.
Was it 8 o'clock Pacific, right?
Yeah, 8 Pacific, yeah. Yep. Don't miss it, Travis.
Yeah, okay.
I'm counting on you, buddy.
I've been talking about it for weeks.
Yes, and then just a quick look at the graduation to-do list. We've got a whole bunch of things crossed out here because we finished them. A couple of big outstanding things is that Travis has finished updating the steering committee and governance update. Alex and I have approved it and reviewed it pretty thoroughly. So we are going to get Bassam's approval as well today before we head into the presentation tomorrow morning. And so we can merge that and call that completed as well. I've gotten all the production testimonials from all the production users that answered our survey. So I have those integrated into the slide deck, the presentation slide deck we'll be giving. But I need to add that information to the adopters markdown file in the repo. And then I have a draft PR for the official proposal to the TOC repo. And then we present tomorrow. So things are going pretty well there. Travis, is there anything that you want to add to that spiel there?
Nope, sounds great. I think, yeah, I just want to get that governance PR merged. So
yes,
I will. You poke Bassam for us.
Yeah, I will call his cell phone nonstop today until he hits approve on that.
Yeah. I mean, technically we have the votes, but yeah, just like his blessing on it.
Yeah, it would be good to get 100% sign off on that one, since it is a governance update and maintainer membership update and everything too. But yeah, we do already have the votes for it. That's true. Okay, so graduation stuff, super exciting. And Travis, I changed in the graduation proposal here. I changed the link to comment only. It's no longer an editable link. So if you need to edit slides, I can add you as a a specific editor to it. Would you need do you need editing stuff still?
Probably not. I'll review it and
Okay,
let you know if I have any suggestions.
cool. Yeah, and if you need edit, I'll just give you edit, no problem. All right. So that's graduation stuff. All right, let's move on to the next two items here. Travis, want to take it away?
Yep. So well, it became apparent that some people are looking at old blogs to install Rook instead of our latest documentation, and they're getting hung up on using our old channels that we used for Helm charts. So just a note that we need to remove those channels. And I haven't looked yet into where that would need to happen. Does anybody know offhand what it would take to delete those channels? Or were these like buckets in S3 or something we need to clean up? I think that's what it is, but I guess I
Yeah,
should
they are
scripts
S3
and figure it out.
buckets. Yeah,
Yeah.
basically exactly what they are. And then like some DNS records and stuff too.
Right. Anyway, so I can take that action to clean that up, but unless somebody else feels so inclined or knows where those are already. So that's all. I don't think there's any negative effects of just deleting those channels, because hopefully people will see they're missing and then go look for new documentation.
And there, you're saying also that the build process, build pipelines, CI/CD, Jenkins stuff, that's not publishing to those anyways. The promote pipeline,
Right.
none of that even runs to those anyways.
Yeah, I can't remember. It's been like 6 months or 9 months since like 1.0 since we published those, something like that.
Yep.
So they're getting old.
So no further changes to do in the build process. It's just a cleanup of artifacts is really the step here.
Yeah.
Cool.
The next one, I just want to bring up, I guess, the question around CockroachDB. So, I mean, no features have been added since 0.8 when it was added. Community around it. Well, so we talked to Cockroach in the last year, right, or a few months ago. Jared, I'm just wondering, have you heard anything from Cockroach?
Yeah, last time I talked to Keith, that was, I think that was here in San Diego at the last KubeCon at the Rook booth. We had a conversation there too. I think the biggest thing for them is that they wanted to be able to easily use some of the more advanced operator frameworks like operator SDK stuff, which we do have examples for a subset of some of the Ceph operator functionality. But that was one of their big things. They wanted to be able to easily use that or have, more relevant examples in Cockroach, like the foundation of the skeleton and the scaffolding there already that would help them. But haven't heard engagement since then. So that was a couple months ago.
Right. And I guess where there's no engagement, there's this kind of recurring theme. Do we just remove it until and add it back when there is engagement? And that's the same question really of our release cycle. Well, if there's nothing changed for a storage provider in a release, it doesn't really make sense to release a new version of it.
One thing that's interesting,
just push it all.
Yeah, one thing that's interesting, Travis, is that from our our Rook user survey that we were doing as part of graduation, there are folks that are using the Cockroach support already, and have that deployed in their environments. So
interesting. Yeah, that's good to know.
So that's definitely something that for me that at least makes a statement of if it doesn't cost us anything to continue supporting it, and we would like to potentially keep driving that conversation around increasing the engagement or the ownership from the Cockroach folks, then already having users of it is definitely a justification for me for keeping it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if people say they're using it in production, that's interesting too, since it's still alpha. Anyway, yeah, it's good to know. I did see that there are 100,000 pulls of the Cockroach container, which means,
and it's not just me running a script.
Not trivial, right?
It's not me.
It's not just you. Yeah, I just maybe we can get word from CockroachDB guys again how we can get engagement there and make improvements.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I would like that. There's no question about that. I would love to have more engagement from them. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Well, it sounds like there's definitely more adoption there than we had for the Minio operator, which is good to hear.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't see any Minio responses on the survey.
Okay. All right. I guess that's all for
Cool.
that.
Okay.
We'll leave it for now. But
Any other topics that folks wanted to bring up in the community topics section here that were not added to the agenda already?
Yes. Can I? Hello, everybody. Well, it's just that we have a Python client for Rook. Okay. Basically, this is automatic generated classes, and I'm wondering if this repository that currently is in the Ceph organization can be moved to the Rook organization. I think this is the URL, and basically it's just a generator for Python classes using the to use the Rook CRDs in Python.
yeah, thanks for bringing that up. I think it's on that PR. We've had a PR in Rook where it was discussed, but we haven't. I don't think we brought it up here in the meeting before. So the Python client, yeah, we need it for the Ceph code for Ceph Manager,
Yeah.
but Sebastian Wagner also did work to really make this work for this Python client generation for other providers too. I think he got it working for EduFast, and I can't remember. I thought there were 3. But I mean, we have a Go client we generate for Rook CRDs, and this is now a Python client for it.
Yeah.
Right.
I think basically it could be very useful, for example, for the Ceph Manager modules. It is useful, okay? And I think that it could be useful for another projects also, okay? But the right place, I think, my opinion is that it should be included in the Rook GitHub organization, not in the Ceph organization. It's not the right place, in my opinion.
Right. So
was it on the pull request already there was some discussion? I'm not up to speed on that one. Is there a high level summary about what the discussion had been, or if there was any pushback on this at all?
Okay.
yeah, Sebastian Hahn also had some thoughts on this. It's I think where we left it off was that, well, if I can think about the summary. So summary is, well, the proposal was, well, does this belong in Rook? Well, yeah, it seems like it kind of fits this pattern. We've got the Go client. What about a Python client? It's versioned with the Rook repo. But then it was awkward. I think Seb commented that, oh, well, we just got Go in the repo. Why would we want Python? What about a new repo in Rook where we have the Python client? Is that fair, Seb? Or
yeah. And it's better to have it. So if it has its own repo, then it can have its own coverage on CI, on tests, and also I think in terms of commitment, if we have it in the main repo, this means like we are committing to updating it every single time something happens too. I'm not sure we're ready for that since we have the Go client. So to me, the Python client is more like a gift to the community, and whoever feels like contributing to it should do it from the dedicated repo. So I think the latest decision was to have this as part of the Rook org as an independent repo.
right.
Is there automation to keep it up to date? Like if, the API surface area or, our CRDs and structs, et cetera, have changed in Rook. We have an automatic, build process to generate new clients and stuff like that, the Go clients. I assume that the Python client has automation to do that as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like if you just run make code gen, we could just generate the new Python client. Right. Yeah, that was the idea.
Yeah, I
we
think
did want to put in a new Rook repo. My thought was also, well, what if we hold off a little bit longer to figure out, are we factoring out the storage providers into their own Rook repo anyway, or are we, to finalize that decision before creating this repo? That's where the latest was.
Yeah, I
What were
think
you gonna say, Jake?
in my opinion here, you know, for like the general idea of having this owned by the Rook organization, and you know, being under the same licensing and governance, et cetera, I think is something that I have no problems with at all. I think that this seems like a pretty useful or pretty cool functionality and feature set here to be able to have a Python client as well for talking to the Rook API, the Kubernetes API and the Rook CRDs, et cetera. So I think in general, you know, I would be supportive of moving it to the organization so it's under that, you know, the Rook umbrella. I think the logistics around what is the release process, how is it managed, et cetera, I think it is a greater discussion to continue having, but in general, I think this is a cool project to live underneath the Rook organization.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think how to proceed or finalize where it lives is the next question. So
I think from my perspective, at least the latest discussion we had was, okay, let's go ahead and see if everyone agrees to create a new repo. And if that's the case, then let's just do it.
I mean,
Yeah, and if GitHub is a little tricky about that, but they have a concept of transferring ownership of repositories from one org to another. So that could be an easy step if we wanted to take that step to just transfer.
Or just create the new repo and the other Sebastian will just create a PR. No need to transfer, I guess. We can just do a huge blob for the initial commit and that's it.
Yeah.
I don't think he really wants to keep the history or anything, so that should be enough.
No.
Right. Yeah. So maybe the short-term thing is let's just move that repo into Rook. If there's no, I have no problem with that.
Yeah, and also what we said is that if we do this for Python, then we will do this for any other language, which we might not want to. So, and because we already have Python, they will say, oh yeah, but you did this for Python, so why not doing this for me? And I don't think we want to go into that discussion either. So having it like outside right away is probably the easiest. The precedence.
We can ask, well, do it by yourself and put in the organization. You have here the client for Go and for Python, and if you want another language, okay, let's go with that.
No, but I meant they would also ask it to be as part of the main Rook repo. And I guess it won't be fair to tell them no, just because we did it for Python.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
Where
so
for Go, it's just a natural thing to do because it's written in Go.
Okay, but
okay, let's do that. So let's create the new repo and transfer it over.
Yeah, and then
agree with that.
Cool.
Yeah, that's fine with me. And a final note on that too is that I always do find the history to be very worthwhile when looking at code changes or why something is in there. And so I've done that as well. Instead of going to the transfer ownership process in GitHub to do like a clone and then add as a remote the new Rook organization repo and then just push to that remote.
Just push force in master for the initial commit. Yeah.
Yeah, or you can do it to a fork or like create the repo in Rook organization, create your fork, push that fork, and then do the pull request. But all the commits come along with the history too, which I think is pretty valuable to always to never.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he has
wasn't an option.
like.
What, Alexander?
The GitHub transfer wasn't an option.
Oh, it's the tricky part is you have to be an owner of both organizations. You have to be an owner of the source and the destination. So it gets like I don't find it to be completely practical there because you have to give people permissions they probably shouldn't have.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I thought it was possible. I think I missed it in the beginning. Yeah, no, okay.
Okay, cool. We can follow up on that. Thanks for bringing up that that agenda item. I think it is a really cool project.
Okay.
All right, we can move ahead to the PR's discussion here. But Travis, we already brought this one
Yeah,
up
we already
earlier.
talked about that. Yep.
Okay.
So I think that's it.
Are there any other pull requests that people want to bring up for notes or discussion right now? All right, if not, then we can go ahead and adjourn for the week here and get 30 minutes of our time back. And then we will see anybody who wants to come along for the ride tomorrow morning at the CNCF Storage SIG meeting.
Yep. Thanks, everyone.
And
See
Travis,
you
let's sync up again
Thanks,
soon
guys.
today. It's about the remaining items to make sure everything,
Yep.
all the loose ends get wrapped up. All right,
Sounds
see
good.
everybody. Thank you.
Have a good day, guys.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.